Hey, welcome to the Vault. We're really happy to have you here with us today. You know, we're already having a great time this morning. I'm trying not to laugh. Hey, we have a lot of really interesting things to talk about today. Actually, this show, even though the women tune in to listen to us, it's actually going to be a lot about men. We're going to talk about some of the things that men really want in a relationship, and where we got the concept for this show, actually, is I was talking to one of my guests today and one of my wonderful co-hosts, and she was having a conversation with a man. He said, you know, I don't think women really get, man. I don't think they really understand what we really need and what we want. So we talked about it, and I said, you know, let's do some research into this and let's share some of our ideas on the air today. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna cover some research that we found, and actually real interviews with men and some of the myths that we believe have been true. We're going to tell you that maybe they're not so true after all, Mike. So you know you can add your 2 cents in as well. Since I'm talking to my friends here.
Introduce anybody?
I know. Yeah. Wait. Okay.
Well, people are going to be confused if they've never tuned in before. They're going to be like, "What is this?"
Okay, so I'm your host. I'm your host. You know what? I never introduced myself.
You never introduced yourself.
You know, because the
We're
show is really about us, right? But it's the Venus Vault, and the show is about communication, about love, relationships, sex, dating, mating, and everything that happens in between. And we're just here, sitting here, having a great time together, and we're opening up our table to you. And I'm Syndee Jones. I am an author, a relationship book author, and entrepreneur, and single mom. And I have joined into this room with Katie Sabbaghian, and she is the owner of Your Soul's Symphony, and she is a spiritual psychologist who has helped thousands and thousands of people throughout her career, and she's just a wonderful, precious person. And to her left is the light of our corner here with a wonderful smile on his face, and he is comedian extraordinaire Mike Kennedy. Hey, Mike.
Thank you, Syndee. I am your relief from Sunday morning football. That's what I'm your relief from.
Yes.
Syndee, honey,
right now.
What's that special thing you've got in your coffee? Please pass some of it over to me.
She's got a lot of love in her today.
Am I loving today?
Remember, I put my straw in your pumpkin earlier. Do you remember? Well, we were at Starbucks.
Excuse me. Oh my God, he's taking credit for what you did.
Katie did put the straw in, but you know what?
Thank you.
Sometimes I like to watch women put straws in other women's pumpkins.
Oh, I can imagine. I think all men like that. I think all men like that.
We like to take a night off every once in a while. You know what? Sports Center's on every night. Some nights we just want to watch.
Hey, I want to also say a shout out to Shishima Oates. She is our partner here in crime, and we really appreciate what she does for us here, and everybody at Radio Phoenix. We really appreciate being with you as well. Yeah, thanks, Shishima. Okay, so Mike shared something on his Facebook page, and you can find all of us on Facebook, by the way, which I had to talk about because I think this woman is crazy as a bedbug. But I want to get your opinions, listeners, and Mike and Katie. I want you to bear with me as I read something very quickly.
We'll put it on our Facebook. We'll put the article on the Facebook.
It's on, honey. It's on there, and I got so much feedback on this. Okay, so here it is. Her name is Quinn Windward Pugh, and she's a gossip blogger. So she's got this big blog site. She's actually fairly successful with it. She's also an events coordinator. She holds these big events. So she went out with a man a few times, and let's note that this was just a few times. Two times exactly. Yeah. Dates. And then they had planned, her birthday was coming up. They planned a day trip together. It'd be their first day trip where they're really getting to know each other.
After the birthday, because he couldn't make it to her. She wanted him to come to her birthday party.
She had asked him to the birthday party. Yeah, we have to get the story straight. Yeah. She had asked him to the birthday party. He said no. Now, this in my mind already.
After 2 dates, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm in my mind. I'm like, okay, the guy is already kind of, I'm not ready to meet all your friends and do the whole birthday party on your date thing after early. 2 dates. Okay. So she gets a text right before they're ready to go on this trip, and this is what it says. It says, this is from him now to her. It says, hi, listen, I had fun on Saturday, but quite honestly, I'm in a state of flux right now, and I'm really not looking for a relationship. Sorry to be a downer before your birthday, but I have no doubt you'll move on quickly as you are a funny, smart, cool girl. Good luck.
Well, that's so beautiful.
Via text, right?
Well said.
Via text. Now, there's two things.
He didn't want to say it in person because
two things I'm going to ask. Two things let me ask, and then I want your responses. First of all, how do you feel about the way he handled that via text? Okay, Katie already gave her feedback. Secondly, what do you feel about someone basically breaking off a relationship or dating via text versus phone versus in person? So tell me first how you felt about what he said. Let me tell you what I felt. Yeah. I felt it was so respectful and quite quite loving, actually. You know,
Very endearing.
He didn't
Very
put her down.
endearing.
He just was like, hey, I'm not ready for this right now. You know, I'm putting the brakes on.
And you know what's weird? The way they set up that article, when I read it the first time, I felt like, yeah, that was kind of a jerk thing to do.
Did you
And
really?
you just read it again, like
Yeah.
now that I know the whole story, and I go, yeah, that's an amazing text message. Most people, when you first start dating them, they just drop out of the blue. They don't even let
you don't
know.
even hear from them.
Yeah.
Like you go, what
exactly.
happened? Like, because that guy maybe found another woman.
Yeah. Or-
our situation. Well,
Or maybe
yeah.
he really is
Or-
in a
or-
state of flux.
Basically,
Yeah.
or she wasn't the one, and he
Right.
didn't want to move forward. He didn't want to hurt her feelings. Now,
So he
so
could have
that
just ignored her, which would have been worse.
so you're in agreement with me
Right.
that
Absolutely.
you're in agreement. Okay, so then the next question, of course, is do you think it's okay to break? Do you think it's okay for him to have done this via text? I personally didn't feel good about that. I think if you're going to do it in text, he did an okay job of it. But you know what? Pick up the phone and call me. Just let's have a voice to voice here.
How many dates have they had
They had
again?
2
dates.
2 dates, I see.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, in the last year, I had this similar situation twice, where a woman that I dated for 4 months, I called her and we broke up over the phone, which I felt bad about that we even broke over the phone, but I wanted to at least talk to her.
Exactly.
And it was very rational, and we had a very great conversation. We're still friends
Okay.
because we had a really human interaction.
Exactly.
But it was over the phone, very respectful.
Human kindness goes a long way. And everybody should have self-respect and respect others, period. And I think that if you are dating someone, even if it's one date, have enough respect just to communicate, you know, no matter what it is. Hey, I mean, I wouldn't, there's this saying that I heard that's really good, you know, and it's kind of from the Buddhist faith, but if you speak kindness, you know, always speak your truth, but that doesn't mean you have to be mean.
Right,
So
that's
your
so
truth,
true.
so in other words, his truth is that, hey, maybe he doesn't like what she looks like. Maybe he didn't like what she smelled like. You know, maybe he, you know, didn't like her personality. You don't have to say that. That's not being your truth. Your truth is, I'm not wanting to move forward in this relationship, you know, and you don't
Right.
have to be mean about it. So with you and your situation, I would think after 4 months, it warranted a phone call at
Right.
least.
Well, Katie,
right?
you're an expert, Katie. How about this question for you? Do you think because of that's one of our recurring themes is online dating makes everything kind of impersonal? Do you think that's a result that people just kind of lost that personal connection with other people and they do things by text instead of
the
like,
whole social media
Yes,
thing?
Yeah.
I think
Of
it's become
course.
so easy these days to just send an email, to send a text. You know, why bother going meet a person? Why bother even giving them a call when you can just text them?
Our keyboards are getting touched more than we are.
Oh, yes.
I like that's a
very
T-shirt.
true.
Hey?
Yes.
You're
Hey?
talking in T-shirts.
Are we talking? Did
I
that
like
did that
that.
rock your mind a little?
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's a
Our
good one.
keyboards, we're in trouble. If
I'm writing that one
we
down.
are in trouble if our keyboards are getting touched more than us.
See, that's why I like when you say, you know, it's time to play in your backyard again, you know?
Yeah.
You know how you always say that. And
Yeah.
the crisis with the internet dating and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's very important.
Well, I've noticed even with my own child, I have a teenager at home, and I've noticed that I'm talking to her, and it's like I swear to you, it's like, Dakota, can you do the dishes? I'm finding I have to text my daughter to get a response. You know, dude, can you please come in, Dakota, to do the dishes? I get a text back, yes. You know what I mean? It's like if I take that phone out of your hand, will your hand fall off? Like,
Yeah.
you know, is it actually part of your body now? Because, you know, I'm fearful now that it's become part of your body.
Yeah. I'm going
you
to
know?
take mine away from my daughter.
Me
Like,
too.
I'm going to limit it down to just only being able to text her mom or I if her grades don't get better, and I've told her that.
Yes.
And it still does nothing to her. Like, it doesn't even phase her. I go, no, it's going.
No, well, it's not words, action. But
Well,
let
that's
me
the thing.
tell you now, one thing about the phone that I learned, you don't have to hit your child. You know, nobody believes in
Take the
hitting their
phone
child
away.
anymore. We're not back in the Stone Ages.
Right.
Okay? You don't even have to raise your voice. You can calmly say, hand over your phone. Now, I don't say I'm going to take your phone away. I say, hand over your phone. And as soon as I say those words, my daughter becomes angel. She is an angel
She's-
from heaven.
You know, my
What do you want, Mom? What
think
can
there
I do
should
for
be-
you?
I think there should be
it's
a
tool.
no internet, no calling time, where it's just 2
yeah,
hours a day,
yeah.
where you're just
Yeah.
out in the garden or
you can
wherever
do
you
that
want to
too
be.
with your text. You can where they can't use their phone from like 4 in the afternoon to 10
Oh,
p.m.
I'm going to
Yeah,
have to
it costs
find
like
out about
that.
that.
It costs like
Put a block-
$5
you put a
extra.
block on it.
I
Yeah,
really
that's
like
really
that.
good. Well, I've talked to my child about that. I said, look, I need us to have at least a 3-hour window where you're not on the phone or computer, because also kids are becoming inactive. I'm seeing young girls in their teens with cellulite.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't have cellulite when I was a young teen. You know what I mean? None of my
Yeah.
friends did. You know
Well,
why?
it's the-
Inactive.
And it's the horrible food we're giving our kids because we cave in because a lot of us are single
I don't-
parents. And I know
yeah.
this is what I'm
I don't
guilty
do
of.
that, but-
Well, I know some. It's tough to do that because if you don't have your kids all the time, like I know with me with my daughter being 14, like I'm just trying to have everything be a fun time with dad because like I don't want her to not want to come visit me. So I push. And plus, you women, I tell you what, you women are like cats. I can't get you to do anything I want. I just sit there and go, do you want to do something?
And you're excuse me, you're not stroking us properly. It's not stroking us properly.
She just lays on the couch like a cat. And she goes, let's just watch TV, Daddy. And you know what? I love watching TV. And I go, yeah, honey, this is fun. Like, if you want to hang out with
maybe
your
you
dad,
guys are just a lot alike.
But not many 14-year-old girls want to hang out with their dad either.
But
no.
Do you have the motivation to go out, to take her to the mall?
Well, I took her to that basketball
to get her nails
game.
done.
I took her to that basketball game, and she hated it. She doesn't like girly stuff. Like, she likes...
A basketball game
you're a
is
guy.
not
Do guy
girly
stuff.
I go shopping with her. Yeah, I take her to buy clothes because I love going with her because I get so embarrassed of all the girls' clothes.
Now, Mark,
Mark, whatever, Syndee.
Who are you today?
Oh, goodness.
Why do I keep saying Marky?
No more pumpkin spice.
We need to get him out of
That's
my
her
body.
ex.
There's more than
That's
spice
my ex.
in that
It's
coffee.
crazy.
More than this pumpkin spice. Good thing it's...
damn. Oh, I'm cussing again. Holy guacamole. You guys,
Good
you need to put restraint on me.
Hey.
Now listen, I'm going to get some order here. I've got to
Good
get
thing
some
that's
order.
only seasonal, this pumpkin spice.
Listen,
oh my
I am
goodness.
so addicted to that pumpkin spice latte. I love it.
The best part about this is that people probably think we're talking about something other than pumpkin spice, but we're talking about pumpkin spice coffee.
It's
has made this woman a lunatic.
I'm so, yes, but I'm a lunatic anyway.
Okay.
You know that. Okay. So let's get back on task, my friends. We actually have a reason for our show.
Yeah, that's right.
Katie's pointing at me to tell me to
know.
shut my mouth and open it in the right direction. Mike, zip it.
Oh, God, that's
Okay,
hilarious.
listen. This whole show is really supposed to be about what men think about women and some of the mistakes we're making. So I wanted to share with you guys from a Red Book article some myths that they were just myths. Can you understand that word? Am I saying it wrong?
Yep.
It's a hard word to say in the morning. What men think about women and what we think they're thinking. Okay, so let me ask you, Mike. Here's one: men want a woman who is one of the guys, and
let
me tell you what they shared here. They said maybe this was true in high school and college, but those are the years when you can hang with the guys in big groups, make out with a few male friends, and act as if love and commitment is silly. That's when friends with benefits situation can work. But you aren't in school anymore, and grown, masculine, mature men really, really prefer feminine women. They don't mind hanging out with you and as buddy, but it shouldn't. They really like elegant, confident ladies.
I like somebody, and I think that's a bad view because not all guys, just like not all women, are the same. We're not all looking for the same thing.
I agree with him. Again.
What I like is someone who's confident to be a girly girl and also be tough. And like I seem to be attracting now a lot of roller derby type girls.
Yeah, but you're not marrying him, honey.
I know, but
you're not laying down a commitment.
I'm not no, I will commit for 4 or 5 years to a woman.
But you're not laying down a commitment to the roller derby girls. Not to.
But you know what? Those roller derby girls.
No
don't
problem
wanna,
with problem with roller derby girls.
But those women are wild women just like me.
Okay.
And they don't want to be tied to someone for the rest of their life. But you know what? If we want to have fun for 4 months or 5 years, they're down for it. And that's what I'm looking for. I don't want a commitment for the rest of my life because I don't know where I'll be in 20 years.
Okay. Well, there's another myth that I've heard this a million times, that men have to have a mystery. Now this is
true.
Okay.
That is true.
Okay. But what they're saying is it goes a little bit further than that. They're saying that that's a myth because men don't want to have to try to figure you out. So let's get the mystery correct here. The mystery comes from your feminine mystique, your own power, your own ability to be independent, where the man doesn't know what you're doing all the time, but that doesn't mean he wants to figure out if you like him. He doesn't want to figure out if you're dating somebody else, and he doesn't want to have to figure out who you are. Yeah. That type of mystery they're not wanting, correct?
They will move on. They will move on.
I think it's that, oh my God, she's so special. What is so special about her? I think that's the mystery.
Yeah.
If you like a guy, you should let that guy know. Because what we'll do as men is be like, I don't think she's that into me. I'll find someone who's really into me.
You do realize that women struggle with this. Even at my daughter's age,
really?
They say, I don't want him to know I like him. Even in the teenage years, this is what the girls are led to believe. I don't want the man to know I like him. I told my child, I said, listen, it's not about that. You have to let him know with a smile, with being close to him, with being sweet. But what you don't want to do is chase him. You do not want to be giving up yourself for anybody ever.
That's
and
good
I
advice.
think that a lot of women, even in my age, in their 20s, 30s, 40s, we do that. We like someone and we chase the man. And that's what I think is the myth about us thinking a man wants mystery. What he really wants is for you to maintain your independence. Is that.
And, also not coming on too strong. These days, sometimes we can be sometimes a little desperate, a little needy. Some women are really emotionally unstable. And I think we have to respect that natural progression of intimacy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Because when I really, really like you, oh my God, I really, really like you. Well, that can also put some pressure on a man.
Absolutely.
Especially
extra
if it's
done too soon,
that's needed.
right?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's really good advice you just gave, because that is something like a lot of women will communicate that with words, like that they're really into you, and as a guy, it kind of freaks you out. Syndee,
See, that's
I'm
what
looking
I'm
at somebody.
about.
I'm looking at you back.
I know, but I'm talking now because I'm on the show. When I'm trying to romance a lady, I've learned to keep my mouth shut and show a little bit of mystery. Let them learn that I'm a lunatic later. Let's just try to see what this Waylon Jennings look gets me as far as, thing. But that's with women. But the way you describe to kind of give a look and everything, that does let a guy know that you're into him.
Well,
a little hand on the elbow. Perfect.
A little touch. Now here's myth number 3. This one's really good. I want to get this out before our segment ends here. Men only want what they can't have. That's the title, but here's what it gets into. This goes along with the lie that men love mystery. A mature, commitment-friendly man who is looking for a wife or a serious relationship wants a family, and he really isn't interested in chasing a skirt. He wants to know you more. If they really are into you, they're going to go after you. What men want is to feel like the women they date have worth, and that starts with your own self-worth. If you respect yourself and you politely and kindly demand only his best behavior, a great man will scramble to please you. That's what this article was speaking about. And I have found that to be true. If you will get to cut to the chase very quickly in the beginning when you're dating a guy, and you maintain your own self-worth and your own interest, and you find that you'll see how serious he is. If you're busy and he's only wanting you to be around when he has time for you, it's going to end very quickly, as long as you don't cater to that, because otherwise your needs are never going to be met with that kind of guy,
Syndee, I think you just said the key there. A mature, healthy man, not just any man. See, women sometimes don't meet mature, healthy men, and then they generalize and say all men are like that.
Right,
all
and
men
that's
are
not the
jerks.
case.
No,
and that's not the case at all.
Not at all.
Well, we just talked about one of the problems with men that are my age, and I'm almost 40 years old now.
What?
I'm 44. Okay, look, don't give me that look. You're like, you just said almost 40. I go, I know I'm 44, but I mean, I'm in the area of 40.
You can be any age you want,
I attract
honey.
younger women too. So I'm not afraid of younger women.
You can be any age you want.
But
I won't tell.
I was attracted to a 60-year-old the other day. How about that?
She was probably a hottie patati.
She was pretty hot. I was
well,
like,
60-year-old women's now.
I go, 60?
60's the new 40 now.
I was like, 60? I go, that's wild.
Now,
you women are doing great jobs.
I want to run. I also read a Red Book article, and they interviewed men, like thousands of men, and these are some of the things that they said that
This is a good article, by the way.
Post
this on our Facebook.
This is Red Book, and they were talking about things that men would like. I'm going to just read them real quick. Waking up in the middle of the night to a woman that's completely naked.
Amen.
That's really good.
A full shelf in the medicine cabinet, not just little bits and pieces.
For the guy?
Yeah, for
Well,
the guy.
that's a nice
This is a
touch.
guy, guys. This is guy's need. This is what out of the words of a man's mouth.
Yeah,
okay?
that's really good.
Many men's mouths.
That's very good.
They would like a free pass to skip some boring get-together time. In other words, women take you to the kids' football games, the basketball. They want to be able to say, you know what, honey, I really don't want to go with you to that. And they want the woman to be okay with that.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
That's a huge
That's
one.
really good.
Huge.
Yeah. They would like the girls to have more girls' nights out with their friends. They want them to be more independent in a relationship.
Of a certain
That's them
age, yeah.
saying, I don't want you to be needy.
Yeah.
But you need to know that you can
And-
trust that woman. If they don't think they can trust you,
If there's no trust in a relationship,
it's over.
then there's no relationship.
Well, good point.
This is the thing that people have to realize, is that if you're in a relationship, and I just ran upon this where a guy and a girl, I have a friend that's a guy, and we had an email exchange from many years ago, and we had just emailed each other, and the girlfriend was reading his emails, and I thought, I felt like telling her, if you don't trust your guy enough to just let him be, then you should not be in that relationship.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, we have a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back and we'll share some more real quick
Katie's. I wanna hear
tidbits, and then
Katie's thing.
Katie's got some great stuff too.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back, everybody.